Why does your cat eat the food in the middle of the bowl, while leaving the food around the edges? You fill the bowl. Your cat seems hungry. It walks over, takes a few bites, then leaves behind a perfect ring of food. Later it comes back, takes a few more bites from the center, and ignores everything touching the sides. Most people think, my cat is just being picky. But if that's really true, why do so many different cats do exactly the same thing? That's the mystery. And according to researchers who study feline behavior, the answer may have nothing to do with the food at all. By the end of this video, you'll understand why your cat may not be rejecting its food at all. It may be trying to avoid something you never even notice. Let's start with the most common explanation. The food. Maybe your cat doesn't like the flavor. Maybe it's gone stale. Maybe your cat simply isn't hungry anymore. Those can all happen, but they don't explain this pattern. If the food were the problems, why would your cat keep eating from the middle, while leaving perfectly good food around the edges? That's our first clue. The problem probably isn't what's inside the bowl. It may be the bowl itself. Over the last several years, scientists have learned that cats experience the world very differently from us, especially through their whiskers. Most people think whiskers are just longer hairs. They're not. Each whisker is connected to an incredibly sensitive network of nerves. They help cats judge space, detect nearby objects, and even sense tiny changes in the air around them. To your cat, its whiskers are constantly collecting information, which means anything pressing against them gets your cat's attention immediately. At this point you might be thinking, okay, but my cat's whiskers touch things all the time. And that's true. So why would a food bowl be different? Because the deeper the food gets, the more the bowl itself becomes part of the meal. Here's where everything starts to connect. As your cat eats, its face naturally moves deeper into the bowl. The farther the food sinks, the more the sides of the bowl press against its whiskers. Researchers believe that repeated pressure on these highly sensitive whiskers can become uncomfortable for some cats. Many veterinarians call this whisker fatigue. Not because the whiskers themselves get tired, but because constant stimulation may become unpleasant. Whether every cat experiences whisker fatigue in exactly the same way is still debated. But many behavior specialists agree that shallow, wide bowls often reduce this problem for cats that seem reluctant to eat from deep dishes. Now think about the food left around the edges. Those pieces require your cat to push its face farther into the bowl, which means more whisker contact. So your cat keeps eating the easiest food first, the food in the middle. Suddenly, that strange eating pattern starts making sense. But here's the interesting part. Not every cat does this. Some finish every last piece. Others leave a perfect circle every single meal. Why? Because whiskers may not be the only factor. Some cats simply prefer easier access to their food. Others dislike bowls that slide across the floor. Some become stressed if the bowl sits in a noisy area of the house. Several small factors can combine into one behavior, which is why scientists don't believe there's a single explanation for every cat. Let's test the idea. The next time you feed your cat, watch what happens. Does it eat from the middle first? Does it stop once the food reaches the edges? Now try something simple. Spread the same food onto a wide, shallow plate. Or gently move the food back toward the center halfway through the meal. If your cat suddenly finishes much more of its food, you've learned something important. Not about the food, about the bowls. Over time, cats also learn from experience. If eating from the edges feels uncomfortable, even slightly, they begin repeating the strategy that feels easiest. Straight to the middle. Animals repeat behaviors that consistently work. And before long, that pattern becomes a habit. So, why does your cat only eat from the middle of the bowl? The most honest scientific answer is, there probably isn't just one reason. Sensitive whiskers, bowl shape, learned habits, individual preferences, sometimes all of them working together. So the next time your cat leaves that perfect ring of food around the edge, don't assume it's being fussy. It may simply be telling you, its bowl isn't as comfortable as you think. And that's a very different story. If your cat does this, let me know in the comments. Does it leave food around the edges every meal, or does it finish everything? And if you enjoy discovering the science behind the everyday mysteries of cat behavior, subscribe, because the more we study cats, the more we realize that many of the things they do aren't random at all. They're clues to how they experience the world.